Hey everyone, it's Jody from Bird Dog Off-Road Adventures.
And I'm Evan.
And I'm Courtney.
And we're the Adventures of Rogers and Henderson.
Jody from Bird Dog Off-Road Adventures. Yeah, so tonight.
And I'm Courtney.
And we're the Adventures of Rogers and Henderson.
All right, so sorry about that, a little technical difficulty. So tonight we have a special guest. Some of you guys know him as Don. Some of you guys know him as Mean Green Bronco off Instagram. He's a good friend of ours. He was with all of us on the Rubicon. So here he is, Mr. Don.
What's up, guys?
What up?
Hey.
What up?
Long time listener, first time caller.
Yeah. I used to say that some too. I know that reference as well. So awesome, man. Glad you could join us. It was great seeing you out of Sand Holler. I call it. Now have you been there before though? I'm assuming, correct?
Yes, sir. That's my third year there.
All right, cool. Yeah, this is my Sand Holler virginity. We still got to get Evan and Courtney down there and pop theirs. So I know Brad and I were lobbying very hard. We're lobbying more than a lobbyist in Washington, D.C., trying to get them two down here this time, but Don, you may have to help us out. Maybe you can get us over the top and get them down here next year.
I tried. I thought it was a done deal. The rug was pulled out from underneath me. So
Oh.
And then
I know, man. So
Well,
anyway,
it wasn't even Disney that messed us up. So the problem is having like my PTO renews in July, right? The end of July. And predetermined after last year to set aside a minimum of 2 days of PTO for Badlands Bash, because that's been worked out pretty well for us the last 2 years. Well, this year Badlands Bash is not a thing.
oh really? Oh.
And we found that out after we like the chances of us getting to go out there were like, yeah, we're not gonna be able to make it. We're like, oh yeah, we're not doing Badlands Bash this year.
Why not?
New people in charge of events.
Yeah, they changed the date from June to September.
Oh.
And I have a wedding the weekend they changed it to.
Oh well. Their loss.
Yeah. Well, and ours.
Well, yeah, and we'll be doing other things with them still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have
Ultra
4 coming, and we're gonna be there for that. So that'll be fun.
Nice.
But if they had told us in a little bit more in advance, then we would have been out there.
Oh well, we'll just plan for next year for sure, because we'll all be there, and if you're not, we'll rub your face in it.
And we're the losers.
Yeah, you guys be the only ones that didn't make it next year. So everyone's going is what I heard. Everyone.
Everybody.
Everybody and their mother too. Yes. So Don, I was telling Evan the other day in our group, in our little chat, and I was like, yeah, I said there was some people that asked me where they were at. Now they're like, hey, where's Rogers and Henderson? And I was like, who? And I was like, no, unfortunately they couldn't make it, but we'll get them out here next year. So there's people expecting y'all, so you can't let your fans down now.
We'll be there.
All right. Well, now that that's settled, so Don, do you have anything that really stuck out to you this year?
It was fun getting everyone there. Like, it felt like a big party. Like, all our friends were there, and there was a lot of experienced and new wheelers, but everyone seemed like they had a really good time.
Yeah. Yeah, I hate that Ed wasn't able to make it, but yeah, pretty much everybody else, at least in the West Coast, I know was there. A lot of people I'd seen online and on YouTube before, but never had the chance to meet in person, or chatted with them, in the DMs and in the chats and the stuff. I saw a lot of people there I hadn't seen before that I knew of. Mm-hmm. So that was pretty fun. Now, did you and kind of, if you want to just kind of let us know what your primary focus was there?
I was doing media for a couple companies out there and trying to wheel at the same time. Could be busy, my hands full, but it was a lot of fun.
So you had a lot of multitasking going on.
Yes,
so
sir.
yeah, Don and I were actually on 2 trails together.
Mm-hmm.
The second day we were on Western Rim, And then the third day, we were all with Derek and Monica and a bunch of other people. That was probably the funnest run. It wasn't technical, I didn't think. Coming out the back side of it was a little, rough in a couple spots, but it was more about just everybody hanging out, I thought. And of course, in the photo op itself at the torque reveal was pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, I was telling Evan earlier, I was like, some of the obstacles, and I didn't even see. I only went on 3 trails if you don't count the chute. But some of the obstacles there I thought were pretty sketch, not much different than what we had at Rubicon. Of course, unlike the Rubicon, it wasn't back to back to back to back, and the rocks were a lot more stickier. But yeah, I mean, I thought it was pretty fun. Some of those areas, I know that first day I had a Barg off-road in front of me, and he was in our group, and we went on John's trail, and there at that last part, it was pretty fun. It was really exciting. It was on the sketchy side a little bit, but it was definitely, none of us in the group were really like pros, so we just all kind of helped each other out and spotted each other and all that such. It was pretty fun times. The atmosphere, I think, being a first timer, and Don, you're probably used to it by now, but the atmosphere to me was just a lot of excitement, because you had a lot of people there for the first time, I think, myself included. So a lot of people were excited. A lot of people wanted to get out there and see stuff. One of the things that, I had fun and I stayed busy, and I want to tell you, I slept like a log every night because it was exhausting being out in that sun all day and then fighting that steering wheel and having that emotional exhaustion as well, because you're seeing this stuff and you're like, oh crap, like, oh, I hope I don't break anything, that stuff. But I only, like I said, only 3 trails, and that place has got probably what, I don't know how many trails, probably 20 or more, I would imagine,
somewhere in there.
Yeah. So, I mean, one trip, you ain't going to see it all unless you're there for like a whole week, maybe. And even then, that'd be pushing it probably. Is there any trails on there that you thought was really, that stuck out to you, Don, as far as like must do's or must see, so to speak?
I don't know. It depends on what you're into. I mean, there's so many trails there, and the views are beautiful. Had a lot of fun following the clients that I was working with this week. Didn't get a lot of time myself, but that's all right. Like, it was a fun time. Like we were talking about, we had people from Texas, Georgia, Washington, all over, and it was a blast to see everyone. And yeah, Sand Hollow is a technical place. I enjoy it. I think Razzle Dazzle is the easiest trail there, or you go play on the dunes, but everything, you're working for it.
Yeah. And that sand was like, it's almost like, it was like powdered, I thought, especially compared to Silver Lake and the Michigan sand. It's not quite as fine and powdery. That stuff at Sand Hollow, it just gets everywhere.
Yeah, the sand was a lot finer this year, to the point where, like, I was messing around the dunes, went over the chute, and my rock slider steps were catching sand and pouring sand in my tires or in my tire path, and I couldn't get up the chute the first time. I had to literally clean them off, air up the 20, so I wasn't sitting on the sand, and I got up the chute with a little momentum the second time.
Oh man!
Yeah, I got stuck in the dunes on that night ride just because I was messing around.
I was joking with some of the guys there when we were standing at the bottom. I was like, somebody needs to bring a leaf blower out here and just kind of walk down the chute and blow all that shit off, because it's going to get slick. But, I didn't think about it at the time. And then I saw the guy from Bronco Snapshot sent me a picture of mine from the top. And if you look at it, you can see sand just pouring out of the skid plates. And that was near the top. So, it was doing it the whole time. And I was just like, well, hell, no wonder that's all that sand was there. Because I was wondering, like, you think they'd be able to like blow that off or something, or maybe the wind would keep blowing off. But yeah, every time somebody goes up, it dumps a new bucket, so to speak, up and down right in the middle. So that was kind of interesting. So yeah, there was one guy. He's from the Arizona group, and I think I can't remember what his name was. He won last year fastest.
Oh, is what's his name? I have his name on camera somewhere.
Yeah, does it start with like a Damien? That's it.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I talked to the Arizona party, and man, Evan, you'd have like I think most people's reaction was like, "Holy shit!" Because he just got maybe past that first bump and punched it, and
Yeah.
he's like a wild track, and I don't know if it's completely stock, but it's not built out like some of the other rigs you see. And they're going up that last part. I'm sure y'all may have seen the videos on it. This thing is like bouncing side to side and bucking as it's going up.
The red one?
Yes.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, that was
he trailered it there and back, so I guess he can afford it. He can have that luxury of doing it and not have to worry about towing it home. But that was pretty wild.
Yeah, he was fully outfitted with Broncbuster stuff, and Broncbuster's there fixing Broncos. So, I mean, if you're going to break, that's the guy to do it with.
right.
Yeah, I didn't even know Tyler was there till like the second or third day, and it was like towards the end of the day, and I saw him pull up, and I'm like, oh shit, I didn't know he's here. And then when I was talking to him, he said that he was pretty much spending most of the first couple of days fixing other people's stuff. So, kudos to him. There's some people that give Tyler shit, but I bought a lot of stuff off of him over the years, and I can tell you with a few times that I've had issues, not necessarily with Bronkbuster, but like some of the installations where I had the third parties put them in, and there were some installations. Tyler's always been quick to respond, quick to help out. Defer me to the right people if needed. He's always been somebody that, in my experience at least, that if you're a customer of his, he will not just leave you hanging. He'll do whatever he can to try to help get whatever the issue is resolved. So yeah, I appreciate him. Give him a shout out for that.
Yeah, he pulled me out in the dunes. I went up a sand wall too slow, and I got stuck, and I was ready to start digging. He pulled me out with his Yankum rope. So
Yeah,
I didn't want anybody to see that I was stuck, but he pulled me out.
Hey, it happens to the best of us, dude. I was going to say, I don't know, Evan, I don't think you got winched at the Rubicon, did you?
I did.
Oh, you did? Okay, I couldn't remember if you did. I know that I did, and Don, I'm pretty sure you did, but
I did the most winching on those 35s. So
yeah. I couldn't remember if Evan did or not.
Yeah, the first 2 hours.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I remember when I backed
Might
off
have
of
been
that
the first
ledge.
hour.
No, we were well past the gatekeeper. It was where you come down the slabs and then you go up the other side, and I went back too far and slid back into that boulder. And that's where
where it was like wide open.
Yeah, wide open. I chewed up my fuel can and bent the bracket that holds the fuel can on the tailgate or on the.
I do remember that now. Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah, we all get stuck. You ain't getting stuck at least a couple of times. You ain't trying hard, right?
That's right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Something else, Evan. I don't know if you probably don't. I don't know if people that weren't there noticed this much, but like a lot of the people. So most of the people that I knew that were there all had grouped together and got like Airbnbs, and there's some nice ass rentals there. I ended up, putting the dogs with Rover, and because I didn't want to have to spend the whole first time there trying to keep up with them, and and it's just I love them to death, but God, it takes away your time to do other things, and so I ended up rooming with a couple of the Arizona Club members I know from down here, and it's right there, right outside the park. So we never had to air down. There's a Walmart and there's a Maverick, like within just a couple of miles. I mean, it was like a perfect setup. The house was gorgeous, and then the little rental area, I think it was run by the Sand Hollow Resort. It's like when you drove through there, like going in and out, it's like you saw all these houses with like 4 or 5 Broncos either sitting in the driveway, and every night it seemed like somebody was having like a small gathering. So like the Arizona Club, we did a barbecue one night. The guys from DVA popped over. A few other people popped over, and then the next night, the Sin City Club, they had a gathering for taco night. And that was fun. Got to meet a few of them for the first time. They were all pretty nice. And of course, then there was the vendor night or vendor day that everybody kind of went to after the end of the event. You know, I tell you, I think though, Evan, if y'all come out, what we should do is get with people like our friend Don's, our friends Brad, maybe Derek and Monica, some of the Northwest Inland group, and maybe Alex and some others, and maybe just make a whole week out of it. Spend the first few days there by ourselves, do the shoot, get that shit out of the way, so that way you're not like nervous about doing it in front of other people.
I don't know if I can handle Brad and Evan in the same house. That's going to be a lot of mooing and a lot of train noises.
Well, we might just put them on like the other side, the other wing.
We'll put them in the guest house in the casita out there.
Right.
Yeah, or like one of those, or like they have a garage with a room on the top.
Yeah.
Like the isolation.
Jody,
Yeah.
I'll come bunk with you.
There you go. Yeah. So I mean, but yeah, I mean, like we should probably get like a group just to go out there for the whole week, because like the Arizona Club, they left out, I want to think either Monday or Saturday or Sunday. Went up there a couple of days early so they could just kind of play around themselves, because that way you can kind of get up there, you know, if there's anything you want to knock out and you're not in a large group.
Right.
Because I'm trying to remember, I don't know how many they regulated them to, but I know some of the groups I was in was around 15 to 20.
Yeah, this year we try to do a lot smaller groups because last year kind of got out of hand.
Yeah. So I mean, you know, that way, you know, if we all went a few days early, those that can, we could just go ahead. I mean, because hell, you guys are driving halfway across the country, might as well make the best out of it.
Well, and that's the thing, is that when we're traveling that far, we get more bang for our buck when we have more time in the, you know what I mean, like.
Yeah, because you're going to have to take off the whole week just to drive out here.
Well, right. So if we're driving 4 days total, but only have 3 days at the place when we get there, it's harder to justify versus like, oh, okay, we're gonna drive 4 days, but we're gonna be there for 5 days. It's a different story.
Yeah. So I mean, that would be, I think, perfect. Just get there, hit the trails, have a good old time.
And I would like to say, we actually did look into flights. We were just gonna fly into Vegas and then like ride around with somebody. And the flights from Chicago to Vegas or Rockford to Vegas were insane.
We were trying to make it work.
Yeah. Well, I didn't have the dogs. I had plenty of room.
Like it was going to be like, I think it was like the cheapest we could get without having to be there extra, like too many extra days to not make it worth the while, was like $700 a person each way.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I was going to say it was going to be like $1,500 just to fly out there.
Wow.
Damn. Yeah, no shit. I wouldn't do that.
The other option you guys have is Zion's right there, Bryce Canyon's right there. You have like 3 national parks right within that area. So if you want to make a big trip out of it, you can do that too.
Right.
Which is probably what we would do.
Yeah. I mean, that's what y'all did with the Rubicon, wasn't it? Because y'all went to Moab and a few other places on the way out there, right?
We took a whole week just to get to the Rubicon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be, I mean, that's I think a good thing. Don, you were about to say something earlier, and I think we cut you off. Why'd you?
Sorry about that, dude.
Yeah.
Oh no, I said it. That was what I was saying about the national parks. Like, there's a lot of stuff to do around there that's within close proximity.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's just like, you know, y'all been in Utah before. I mean, it's like the whole damn state could be a national park practically. I mean, all the rock formations. So like when I rode back, some of the guys in the Arizona group, they actually grew up in like the Page area. And, you know, like, so going up, I went up like going past the Grand Canyon and out the Glen Canyon Reserve, or where it's called right there. But I didn't actually go up the mountain into that stuff, but they had us go, well, we came into Arizona and then cut back up into Utah. And there's like a whole different area up there with Lake Mead and all that. And God, it was beautiful. So I'm glad I did that with them on the way home. But yeah, there's so much to see out there. It's just not even funny. So, you know, I kind of thought about that. You know, I was like, you know, move out west. You know, Don, you've been out here most of your life, haven't you?
Yeah. Born and raised SoCal. And just exploring every trail out here that I can.
Yeah. And I'm sitting there thinking, I was like, damn, if I lived to be 200, I don't think I could hit everything I want to see. There's just not enough time and PTO and, to drive, because you see all these like stuff that you never even seen on like YouTube or TV. I'm talking about just like stuff off the main path there. There's all kinds of like cool camping spots and scenic areas, and it's just something else. So yeah. So Don, what's on next on your agenda, buddy?
We're gonna do some Rebel stuff coming up. We got SoCal Overland Expo the week after that, and then the next big thing is Supercell Tennessee.
Oh, that's right. You going over there again?
I'll be over there. Yeah, spend a week out there.
Did you go last year?
Got the last 2 years.
Okay, so I thought I saw you. Yeah, I remember I thought I seen you there because I know we saw each other there before we saw each other at the Rubicon.
Yeah, I think we met in last year, 2 years ago over there.
I think it was last year because we were on Tyler's Windrock run, weren't we?
No, we met in your when you first got the hardtop.
Oh, okay. Yeah. God, that has been 2 years ago, or will be 2 years ago this year.
Oh.
Okay. God, I'm getting that age where I forget shit. Hey, Rob.
What are the dates for Supercell Tennessee?
April 23rd to the 26th.
Yeah, they moved it back a week this year, I think.
Yeah, because of Easter.
Yeah.
They got a big car show over there that week, so they had to push us back.
Yeah. Well, you also don't want to be there whenever the weekend at Dollywood opens. They shut down the street and have a parade in Pigeon Forge. I know Dolly's usually in. I don't know if she still does that or not, but I made the mistake of driving through there back when I used to live over in that area, and that weekend, and they had the whole damn drag slow down. So, of course, it was just one giant cluster. So
sounds like you need to go out there a week early and enjoy yourself.
Yeah. I won't be going back to Supercell. I mean, my family still lives in that area, so I'll go back and fly back and visit them and stuff. But I'm not driving 3 days for that event when I've got all this shit out here I hadn't seen yet.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. I will go to Supercell West. So I don't know if you plan on doing that. Do you ever do that Big Bear Bash thing?
Yep, that's about 45 minutes from me. It's fun. It's really relaxed, but there's lots to do up there, and there are a lot of good people up there.
Okay. Yeah, I plan on trying to go to that and try to go to the Overland Expo West this year, as well as Supercell West. But other than that, everything else is kind of fuzzy. So
yeah, I don't think I have a weekend off until like after Overland Expo Flagstaff. So
yeah.
we'll be busy.
Yeah. What you about to say, Court?
I said, what about Bronco Palooza? Didn't hear that.
Oh, I'm flying into that. I'm not driving to that either. But I am flying into that, and then I need to figure out who's going to be my chauffeur that weekend.
I'll be your chauffeur. We can rent a car together.
There you go.
You guys can just borrow my Bronco.
That, or I'll just rent a freaking Jeep to be spiteful.
That's crazy.
You're parking in the bowling alley parking lot.
I'll give me a big old 4XE.
Courtney, are you sure you want to give me your Bronco? You've seen what happened to mine. So.
Yeah, no kidding.
You also made it through the Rubicon with it. So there's nothing around here that can do that kind of damage.
Not that you know of. I'm going to find it.
True.
Oh, yeah, we can take it down to, what's that place that Insane Cliffs or whatever it is, Evan? I know you know.
Oh, that's closed.
Oh, they closed it?
Cliffs Insane Terrain Park, yeah.
I know they closed it off to motor, street drivable motor vehicles a while back.
Closed to anything larger than a Can-Am 2-seater.
Damn Illinois.
Why's that?
Like out there.
Illinois blows, dude. So this is going back, what, 10 years, Jody?
Probably, because that's longer than I'd even been there.
So Illinois used to have Illinois has a bunch of off-road parks in it. But about 10 years ago, as part of a grant system from the Illinois Department of Natural Resources, they made it so that if all these parks wanted to get DNR funding, they had to ban full-size vehicles that were street legal.
Yeah.
And they made it a large enough grant to offset the lost revenue from not allowing full-size vehicles in. And then part of it in Illinois, you have to register your side-by-side.
Okay.
So we rent out an off-road park for the first night of Bronco Palooza, and then the second day we go to Indiana.
Yeah, so that's the workaround for these parks that are still here, A lot of them ended up closing, but they can allow full-size vehicles in a private setting, so you can rent out the park after hours.
That's what y'all were talking about, the night rides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So their
That's a
normal
shame, too.
operation cease at 5 because dirt bikes don't have headlights. And then we get to go in and mess around from 5 until 10 p.m.
That's a shame.
See, I
too,
keep
because-
paying my $5.50 for gas just so I can go keep off road whenever I want.
Or you could come over here to Arizona and pay a little less.
Well, I mean, it was cheap as shit in Utah. I mean, I was paying
Here.
mid 260, 270 for premium the whole way out there. And then even in Carson City, I got premium for under $3. And then I'm like, no, we didn't get gas in Carson City. Where was that? There's another big town just east of Carson City where we got gas. And then we went through Carson City, went up and over the mountain and into South Lake Tahoe. And I'm like, oh, we're still technically in Nevada. I'll get gas here. And that was wrong. I'm like, fuck.
Well, that's how a lot of our ski towns are. Like Mammoth is like $5.50 for gas. Obviously, Tahoe's expensive. Big Bear is like $5.50 for gas. So anything where there's like a ski resort or kind of limited gas access, there's a gas station in the Mojave that's like $9 a gallon just because of demand and supply and demand.
Well, and I get it too, because like obviously through those mountains, it's an earthquake prone area, right? So they can't run lines in the ground. So you have to get it in by tanker. And getting those tanker trucks up and over those mountain ranges is a pain in the ass. Like, we passed one. So I was doing like 35 up that highway climb going up and over the range. And we're passing the tanker truck going like 12 miles an hour, just crawling up to that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was worth it.
Was Courtney in the floorboard the whole time?
What?
I said, was Courtney in the floorboard the whole time you were going up it?
If I could have walked it, I would have.
Yeah, awesome. Hey, Rob, I saw you on here, buddy. Did you go to UBB? I can't remember where he's based out of.
Which Rob is that?
Rob Hallmark.
So on the side of your screen, Don, if you see where it says private chat and comments, on your right-hand side, if you click on the comments, that's people who are commenting on the YouTube stream.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. I got you.
All right. Oh, you're in Little Rock. That's right. Okay. I always forget where everybody. I'm getting that age, guys, where I don't remember shit. Well, Rob, you need to come out here too, buddy. Come out here and Will with us sometime.
Yeah, add to the list of Robs that were out there. There are like 6 this time around. It got real confusing.
Well, his will be easier to remember. You just think of Hallmark, like the greeting cards.
All right.
It's always welcoming, right, Rob?
Or the ornaments.
Oh yeah, that's true. They do have some cool ass ornaments.
Because they
they'll be at Supercell East and West. Well, I'll see your ass at West then. You might have to come say hi to Don over here at East. Courtney, are you guys planning on going to Supercell this year?
Yeah. You have somebody that wants to say hello.
All right.
Oh, you're good. You can see
see a booger.
You can swing around by Evan.
As you just showed your boogers to the entire internet.
Yeah. About 12 million people watch this show. Everybody sees it. All your friends are going to see it. And,
now we're going viral.
Yeah, it's going to be viral.
On my computer going, can I say hi to Jody?
That's awesome. Awesome. Tell her that she'll be getting a call from Joe Rogan tomorrow. He'll want her Awesome. Well, yeah, Rob, you come out to West this year, hit us up. I know, Don, you said you were going to be there too, right?
Yeah, I'll be there.
Absolutely. I can't wait for that one because if you talk, we had Tom on here right before the Nevada event, and one of the things he did explain is that, every Supercell is different. And, that's the only one I've not been to, but he's exactly right. They all have their own uniqueness, like the Wisconsin, the Nevada, and of course the East. The East is just like a ginormous. But the West is the one that's probably more trail focused, I guess, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Nevada is probably the closest behind it because East, there's just not a lot of trails down there. It's pretty much wind rock, or you're driving an hour or two to get to anything that's really technical.
Well, that's how West is too. Everything from the fairgrounds is about an hour drive.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not
Just
overly
because you're in the
familiar.
mountains.
Yeah, I'm not really familiar with that part of Colorado. I've been to Ouray and the Telluride areas a few times, but and of course around Denver, but I've not been to that specific part before. Yeah, Rob said he loved West last year. I saw some of the videos that Fabian and his team put out here recently. Look pretty cool. Kind of remind me a lot of some of the trails in Ouray. You know, very much shelf roads and switchbacks and such. So.
Yeah, it's a blast, but man, the trails out there, they beat you up because everything's so rocky.
Yeah.
Courtney was about to ask you when Supercell West was, and then you said Shelf Road, and she shut right up.
Good on the Shelf Road.
The weekend after Labor Day.
Yeah, September like 6th or 7th, something around there.
I think we're busy.
Yeah. She's
Well, there's a lot of
I'm
non-shelf roads out there.
Yeah, you wouldn't have to do them all.
Them all.
Now we wouldn't want to take you. We wouldn't want to take her on Black Bear Pass that night.
No,
She might never
Jesus,
get back in the car.
no.
I think Evan would love like Grizzly Lake. That's like it's got a 4 or 5 foot tall gatekeeper, and then you just rocks the way, and then you end up at a beautiful lake. It's pretty cool. Flag Mountain's not a shelf road. That's a nice drive too. There's some simpler trails out there where you don't feel like you're gonna die.
I loved everything but mud.
I love not feeling like I'm gonna die.
Maybe
There's one mud pit that me and Blanco almost got stuck in 2023. So I'll send you guys a video for that one. That's the only mud you got there.
Well, as long as and mud is one thing, it's the clay that's another thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like Windrock was fun, but man, that when you get into the slop in Windrock, it is a nightmare.
Yeah, it's more Jeep territory because we start to break stuff in the mud when you have to send it that hard.
Right.
Yeah, I'd be very surprised if it's as muddy as Windrock. But yeah,
No, because like I said, you have all boulders there, so you're pretty much above all the clay. You're just riding on rocks for most of it.
Yeah.
Rocks, I like.
So what I thought about doing is like, since I'm going to have to take off to go there, and I'm already off on Monday for the holiday, I thought about trying to make a quick trip up over to Ouray and knock out Poughkeepsie, the wall at Poughkeepsie, and maybe do Black Bear. I did it in the 4Runner, but I hadn't done it in the Bronco because the last time I was there, it was still closed.
Make sure you check out Hanksville over there. That's where Ken Block did all his videos on that embankment where the truck goes up and around. And that's where the NASA astronauts used to train for the moon. It's a pretty cool area.
It's called Hanksville?
Yeah, Hanksville.
Write that down.
Colorado or Utah?
It's in Utah.
Okay.
It's about an hour outside of Canyonlands.
Okay.
We went there.
That's the one you're talking about. It's got that big, like you said, like a half moon type deal.
Mm-hmm. It's called Castle Rock or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That looks pretty cool. Somebody else did a video there.
Like there's a ton of people pictures.
Is that where they shot the Ram TRX commercial?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, I know to get there to Supercell West, I have to go through Monument Valley, in that area, in the Four Corners area. So that'll be something I hadn't done before. I'd like to do. I don't know. Does it take you that route up that high to that place you're talking about, Don?
No, we had to go a little out of our way. I was out there with Trail Militia, and George and Oscar were hitting the banks up there. It was a lot of fun, but yeah, it's a little out of your way.
All right, I might look into it. If it's not like exorbitantly more long, I might consider doing it because I'm gonna have time to kill.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not gonna take me that long to get up there to the Supercell West. So I figured I'd stay overnight in Monument Valley, get the picture of the Forrest Gump spot or whatever they call that. Yeah.
I hope you run. I hope you run, Jody. I gotta see that.
Yeah, you don't want to see that. You won't. Well, the good news is it won't last long. Then be down on the all fours on the asphalt, puking my guts out. I just take one of those damn Austin from Raptor Roach. Got me started on those damn Celsius drinks. So I drink one every morning when I got up at UBB, and now I'm drinking one every morning before work. So
Our kids are addicted to those.
Yeah, I might have to pop a couple of those in before I try to do something like that.
It's always old reliable for me with the White Monster.
There you go. Yeah.
Don't make that.
They are reliable.
No, that was the Monster 2X.
Oh.
Or no, Rockstar 2X.
Oh.
There's also a hard monster called Mean Green that Derek introduced me to last year, 2 years ago.
You should get a sponsorship from
That's
them,
what
dude.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, no kidding.
I've been trying. You guys might be able to help me with that. So we'll make it a bigger campaign now.
We'll do a write-in campaign. Yeah.
If you don't sponsor them right now, I'm never buying another one of your drinks again.
Yeah, just like I said, we got apparently the Bronco community is full of caffeine junkies. You know, it'd be a good market to exploit.
Literally nothing but caffeine junkies.
As worse things to be addicted to, I guess.
Don't mind our.
That's true.
Awesome, man. So, all right, you didn't break anything, all right, Don?
No, but everyone around me did. I mean, we blew 3 front diffs. I won't say who, but they know who they are.
Derek. I know Derek. Of course, he talked about it in his videos. Yeah, I think he blew his before he got there, though. We got a guest. Is that Rogue?
That's Rogue.
Oh man,
grizzled veteran. Bro, what are you doing?
Like, y'all about done? Yeah, I got to go to potty.
He's trying to lay on some laps right now. We're sitting on our big chair.
You're in a space. That's what it is.
That's
He wants
exactly
to
what it is.
snuggle. Come
Yeah.
here. Come.
Well, Mom, let him lay down there next to you and then
trying.
cuddle.
Well, he needs to lay between us.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gets jealous when we sit too close.
Yeah. He probably doesn't trust Evan yet. So anyway, we'll get back to the broken differentials. Don, you care to expand on any? You said you don't mention no names, but you get that.
Oh yeah, it was real weird. One of them broke on their drive down from Idaho, and the other one broke before they drove back up to Idaho.
Damn.
Yeah, so one was on pavement, the other one was after a week of trails. So it was, and with Blanco, I mean, there was a lot of just weird circumstances that
Were
happened.
they both M210s?
One was an M210 and one was a 190.
Yeah. Yeah, I told Derek, I was like, hell, if I'd known this shit, I'd have saved my old one. Maybe he'd had better luck with it. Man, that's like, oh, go ahead, Evan.
Did you see on Bronco 6G that somebody took Dana 60 and Ultimate 60 front housing and put on their FDU?
Yeah.
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, because they said it fits. I didn't read in too much to it because I figured it was something I would never want to do. But yeah, I saw that.
Someone blew up their Dana 60 too.
Yeah.
And then ripped off his front bumper. So
well, Trail Militia, I watched their video right before we jumped on here. They just released a new one today, and they showed it. They showed the truck at least. I don't know. I think that guy was with them, wasn't he?
Yeah, that's Eric Lofthouse. He's got a bunch of upgrades on there.
Yeah. But they said they thought it was because the install was probably done wrong. The way that
he said this afternoon or this evening, he said the splines are too short or something like that. So it started grinding and then just caught up with everything else.
Yeah. Man, that sucks, dude. 'Cause I know from personal experience, you spend a lot of money trying to make these things unbreakable. And hell, mine never started breaking anything until after I did all that shit to it. And I've had 2 big breaks here in the last 6 months. So I can definitely empathize with their frustration. One of our friends here, he has some portals, and he's broke 2 CV axles with him. And keep in mind, he doesn't have a lift beyond stock.
Was that a tattoo Matt?
No, Matt. Yeah, but no, I don't. Matt doesn't have portals.
No, he's got a 1.5-inch belt tack lift.
Yeah, and he has a 3-inch body lift too. But no, this guy's from the Arizona club. Very beautiful 2-door, and he's got the 74 wells, and he had one of his CV axles broke, and I think he told me one of his front diffs was bad previously, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I felt bad because I was just like, yeah, trust me, I know what it is. You spend all this money on shit, that's supposed to be unbreakable. You think of a Dana 60, you think that's pretty much about as rock solid, as most people ever think about getting. In my case, RCV axles, which are good axles, they're not known for breaking for a reason, but my luck, and I had a recent break with the triangulated 4-link, and they took care of me, so can't fuss too much about that. But yeah, I mean, like you spend all this money thinking like, oh yeah, this is insurance, this is going to save me some tow bills. And
then it leads to tow bills.
Then it leads to tow bills, and you're like shit.
Well, and it's crazy, right? That it's the problems with the aftermarket parts that people are having, not the OEM parts.
Yeah, I mean, there's some people that break some OE axles and stuff like that. But
but I mean, you expect. Yeah,
you expect that.
You expect people to grenade their front CVs at a certain point, right?
Yeah. And I'll be honest with you, people that have like destroyed their M190s, I'm not surprised because that's not even the heavy duty stock one.
Well, and the mechanism is different in the 190 than the 222, right?
Well, I'm still rolling on mine, and mine's pretty stock. So for now,
like I would expect, because we've seen the amount of wheeling you're willing to do with yours. It's not unreasonable to expect you to have grenaded yours already, right?
Yeah.
But yours is holding up strong. But then you get somebody who's put a heavy duty front drive unit in theirs, and they make it 15 minutes into the trail and it explodes like a watermelon.
Yeah. Well, it kind of goes back to what Ed was telling me when we were on the Rubicon. He's like, if you know when to use your lockers, kind of like the gambler, you got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to run. If you know when to use them and don't overuse them or don't use them in the wrong times, that negates your risk a lot. Whereas, a lot of these people probably aren't as versed as somebody like Ed who's been wheeling for decades, and they probably just slap everything on, put it in the goat mode, and whatever comes on, they leave on. And, I kind of wonder if some of it's not just from, I wouldn't say inappropriate use, but probably not ideal use.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of wonder about that on some of them. So, I mean, that's just a theory, just a theory I threw out there. So it's just something to think about. I don't know. I mean, I could be wrong. God knows it wouldn't be the first time. But yeah, Don here, he was my hero after the Rubicon, man. Dude kicked ass.
I'm trying to get a front locker in 37s for this year, so it's a little easier and I don't hold y'all up. But we got through it. So
yeah, well, you got through it. You actually did some obstacles better than the rest of us do. Especially there in the day 2, day 3 area. You were the day 1. I think most of us probably struggled harder on day 1. I know I did, and I think, I don't know if you did, Evan, but, being the first time we ever done it, that was kind of like I think we were like overthinking things. But I think as we all got more confidence as we went along, you saw less issues. People were picking better lines, and such. At least that's what I thought,
Yeah, 2024 was a slow year for me, like as far as rock crawling. I didn't go out to Colorado. I did a little bit of Moab, but didn't do the hard trails. I was more filming and stuff. But I had to find my lines. I had to get my instincts back. It was like riding a bike. Like I had to work a little bit to get familiar again.
Right.
So what did you wheel with before you had the 6th gen?
That's my first off-roading vehicle. My buddy had a Gladiator. Well, I had a quad when I was a kid, so I used to ride quads and bikes. But I hadn't off-roaded and camped in a long time.
Yeah. Well, that surprises me because you seem like a pretty seasoned guy.
I mean, my first truck was a 94 F-150, and I used to 2-wheel that everywhere. So I got a little experience.
Awesome, man. That's
awesome. You drove the shit out of that thing.
Well, I owe a lot of it to George, Trail Militia. He spent 2 years, like that's who I got started with, and he taught me how to wheel and taught me how to do it the right way. So I owed a lot of that to him.
Yeah, you can tell he knows what he's doing, especially watching him spot people on there. I know that video they posted. I think it was last week prior to the event, and they posted something where he spotted one guy, and the guy like knocked it out of the park, big time. But them guys know their shit, for sure. I'd be afraid to wheel with them though. To be honest with you, they do some sketchy shit. I just don't know if I could. I don't know if my nerves could handle it. I'm just bow out, gracefully.
Well, I think they're one of the biggest proponents for the 6G community because they've shown everybody what you can do and that they're fairly reliable. So.
Well, yeah, doing Fortis and some of those other trails. I mean, and pretty much knocking it out, like you said, knocking it out of the park. And that's even before they even got into the portal game. I think a lot of people are paying attention to them right now, specifically because of that, because they got pretty much every brand.
Mm-hmm.
So they're had a lot of good points. Like they pointed out, 74 weld, you can actually change the CV axle as opposed to some of the other brands where you have to pretty much take the whole thing apart. Something I didn't know about the 74 weld, though, the friend of mine who had a broken axle on his, apparently to replace it, you have to shave some of it. So it's not like completely interchangeable with, say, the stock front drive line. You have to shave some of the teeth or something like that on it, because the guy had to go to Walmart and get like a file and stuff to get it to get back on there correctly. Because we had a bunch of stock axles in the house I was in. I know we had at least 2 pairs just for those purposes. Hey, Scott.
What up, Scott?
What's up, Scotty?
Any updates on the Raptor? Yeah, he's talking about having to cut the off the axle. Any updates on the Raptor, buddy? Transmission? Should just brought him on. So he could just talk to us and tell us instead of having to rely on chat.
Is that his transmission or is that Roach's transmission?
No, he is too.
He is. He was on here 2 weeks ago with us, and he broke the news about, and I can't remember what, but basically the gist of it is the transmission fluid leaked out or came out, and I guess got on the exhaust and caused a small fire when he was going down the road.
Wow. Both him and Roach were out here with us for KOH.
Yeah, I mean, luckily it wasn't too severe as far as they didn't burn it to the ground or nothing, but I didn't know if he got his issue resolved. I know he took it to a dealership and he described it. So you go back and watch 2 weeks ago when we did the last episode, he was on there. So you went from the driveline transfer case. Super hot slug.
Nope, Spines is on.
Yeah. Oh, Spangs World. Who's that? Do I know him?
Yeah, he was with us. He's got a Jeep. He's from out here by us.
Oh, nice. Cool. Is he with the Screw City Club?
No. We're not part of Screw City anymore either. We got booted.
Uh-oh.
I don't know
What'd you do?
But they said, see you later. I don't even know how long it's been picked out. They said no more of these Bronco people.
They didn't want anybody showing them up, huh?
Okay.
Well, Scott, buddy, we hope you get fixed sooner. We want to see you on the trail again.
Text me that bolt information.
Yeah, that's right. I remember that. He's talking about that. There's a rear main seal leak. Dealer has fixed the rear main seal leak and is going to replace the driveline for being under warranty. That's good.
Hell yeah.
The wiring harness is going to have to pay. Well, hopefully that's not too expensive. I don't know. Oh, good. Well, that's awesome. If you get it back Monday, well, let us all update us all on Instagram or something. Let us know you got it back out and back up to speed. I've had to buy a couple of wiring harnesses. The parking sensors in the front and rear bumpers. Oh shit. Well, yeah, I hope it's less than that. I had to replace both of those because when I got the Bronco initially, when I did the JCR winch plate, their instructions had you basically unwrap that wire and splice some of the cover off and then rewrap it. And I don't know if that's what caused it, but I kept getting shorts to where it kept kicking my adaptive cruise control to where it wouldn't work right. So I just bought a whole new harness and kept the sensors and just plugged them up, and it's worked fine since. And I think it was around
the adaptive cruise control.
I think it was like $100, but it was just you don't have it, Evan. I don't know if you have it, Don, but it's a wire that comes out from under your headlight. It connects right there under your headlight, but it runs across the front bumper. And there's one for the back too that cuts down right below your taillights where your lane assist sensors are.
Yeah, we don't got that either.
Yeah.
Nope. We're still folk.
Sorry.
What trim level do you have done?
The Black Diamond.
Okay.
It was the highest I can get without all the sensors because I just felt that all the electronics and everything were going to be an issue if I was going to wheel as hard as I wanted to. So I just kept it simple and got skid plates and everything, and we're still here on most of my stock parts.
Yeah, Raptor tax. Wow. Well, I guess they figure you got enough money to buy a Raptor, you got enough money to spend more on parts, right, Scott? So Spain, yeah, I've always kind of wanted to go to the More Expo. It seemed like there for a while. Every year it was held the same weekend as Supercell East. So when I was living in Illinois, I'd pick Supercell East because it was a Bronco event. I don't think they're contradicting each other anymore, but now that I'm farther away, I don't know if I'll ever make it over there.
It's not out of the question for us, Spang. We do have a buddy with a 392 Wrangler from up here that is going down there. It's just we haven't set anything in stone for that or not yet.
Yeah, it looks like
More is the same weekend as Supercell East, so
is it?
I think so.
I know it was in the last 2 years, but I couldn't remember if it was this year. They kept changing some of the dates on it because I know at one point it was like in the middle of February or like March or something. So it's kind of weird. I know they kept moving the date around for a little while back before I had the Bronco. I saw All Mean Green was going to be on. Just had landed. Savannah. What are you doing over in Savannah?
What am I doing, Savannah?
No, Scott. He said he just got back from Savannah and he saw you were going to be on, so he wanted to make sure he hopped on here. I think he's trying to say he's one of your fans, Don.
I love that guy. He's been real good to me. One of my favorite people in the Bronco community, along with all y'all. So.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait to meet him in person. We hadn't still done that yet. We've had him on here a couple of times, and every time he's on here, he's funny as hell. So it's always fun to talk to. So I'm sure he's a hoot, even more so in person.
Oh, it's fun to watch him wheel too. He puts the pedal to the metal with his hair on fire.
Yeah. Well, Don, Scott, you weren't on here earlier, but we were talking about next year UBB. We can get Evan and Courtney to drive out here a little early. Maybe some of us could spend like the whole week up there and explore a little bit before the event. So if we all end up doing that, you're always welcome to join us. We'll let you decide whether or not you want to invite Austin. You guys got like a friendly rivalry going. Yeah. There was not a lot of Raptors there this year, or at least I don't know about comparatively to the previous years, but there was quite a bit of Raptors there.
Well, they won the Grudge Challenge, all three, first, second, third.
Well, yeah, obviously. I mean, I did say something to them about that. I was like, well, what's the point of any of the rest of us even trying? Unless you got like a classic Bronco that's built pretty good. But because they're all the 6G guys is like, we're not going to be able to compete with the Raptors now that they got all these tuners and stuff for them. So,
well, that's literally what they're built for, right? Like they're built as desert runners. So.
Yeah. I think that they should consider, and I suggested to them, whether they may just look at me like I was an idiot, but I was like, they might want to consider doing categories like Raptor versus Classics versus 6G. That way it's, you have more parity, I guess, for lack of a better term. Because at least if you're in 6G, you're in the same, if not the non-Raptor 6Gs.
We changed the location, or not we, but they changed the location from last year. It used to be in that parking lot in the actual park. And so with everything being in the new location and not knowing how many people showed up, like now that we know we have a ton of people out there, it's something to definitely consider.
I like the way they did it this year better, to be honest with you. At first, I was a little worried because there was no like area to build up your speed. But, but where they had it was perfect. It was enough to give you a little bit of resistance, but not enough to where people were like bogging down left and right.
I was the guinea pig for all that. So we made sure y'all could get up. If me and Green can do it, y'all can do it.
So I had to tease Austin a little bit, and I was like, I think the guy had some issues. I'm no way trying to claim that I could beat a Raptor in racing. But the first time I got up there, me and the other guy, we were like pretty close. And I was like, oh, well, but like I said, I know that was his second run. I think he had some issues because I think that's why they had him run again. But he had a beautiful rig. And I know that RJ told me that he's outrun some Raptors in his two-door because of the weight difference.
Well, he outran Roach. So
yeah. So that was pretty interesting to hear. So you know who RJ is, don't you?
Yeah, he's one of my good friends. Yeah, he's out here by me. We hang out a lot.
Yeah.
Or them. Sorry.
Talking about Evan and Courtney. I know you know him, but does Evan, do you know who RJ is? Pew Pew.
I mean, just from
Yeah.
seeing it on Instagram.
Yeah, he's a pretty cool guy. He was there. He tried it and he burned his clutch out. And of course, after that, he was keeping a little more tame. But yeah, he pulled around there and parked it, and I was like, who keeps spraying bug spray because his clutch was so bad. He just laughed. Yeah, Scott. I was actually, Scott, your ear may have been burning because me and RJ were talking about you. I was telling him about your story whenever we were standing there. Yeah. He had his gun there that last day. He didn't have it at the park, but he had it when he was coming out of the vendor. I saw mounted on the back, that big, I don't know what the hell it is. It's just like his large-ass military-style gun that he has mounted to his roof, which looks freaking badass as hell.
Yeah, it's a 1919 Browning up there. I love it.
Yeah, I know he probably doesn't get much road rage when he's got that thing mounted up there. He can drive through Compton and nobody would even probably give him even a second look. They just like turn their head. He can fuck some shit up with that thing.
Yeah, it's live. It works. So
yeah, I've seen him shooting it. I was like, so I told him, I was like, how do you keep that from bending or breaking anything? Because it's got a hell of a kick to it. Tell him I'm the real RJ. All right, you gonna have a singing Slim Shady with the real RJ? Please stand up.
Oh Lord.
Oh man, I doubt he's on here watching, but we'll have to tell him to come back and watch the tape version.
What's on your jersey behind you, Don?
It's the 2007 Yankees team.
Nice.
Yeah, played 16 years of baseball and fell in love with it. My dad got a lot of memorabilia along the way.
Oh, nice. You ever come out here to the spring training games?
I do. I used to. Back before I off-roaded. Now I don't have the time.
Well, how about you do? You make a dual purpose trip next year, because I know it's about over with now. Come out, watch the spring training games, and hit me and Alex up, and then we can hit some trails here in the Phoenix area.
Yeah, I'd love that. I've been meaning to get out to Arizona and wheel for a while now. It's just
there's some cool trails out here. I mean, nothing like what you had up there, but I mean, there's a couple of trails that are like buggy trails that I probably hit, but like Crown King and Telegraph Line, those are a couple of ones that are real cool that I've been on.
Yeah, we can pop over to Sedona real quick too. I was trying to make it out there this year, but just too busy with work now.
I'm surprised, and I've talked to the Arizona group, some guys in the Arizona group about this. I'm surprised they don't have like a big Bronco event here in the winter whenever everybody else is freezing their ass off.
They have the Arizona Bronco Roundup. I'm sounding like Courtney Branco.
Well, that's the one that's just Cop brought Bronco Palooza, but they don't do anything other than the car lot or the dealership. Because I went to it it was like right before Christmas. Love it. But yeah, like in January and February where it's like cold as hell everywhere else, if they could just do like a, maybe just like have some of the people from the local club be trail guides and have like an event, they could probably get like a pretty decent event together that people would travel for.
Call it the Snowbird Roundup.
There you go.
You probably get all the people for that don't want to go to KOH out there.
Yeah. I want to go to KOH, but I'll be honest, I'm a little intimidated by it, not knowing much about it, because you see the videos and people are out there just kind of roughing it. And I'm kind of like, okay, if I got out there, one, would I get lost in all the shit that's going on and not know where the hell I'm at and be miserable? Because I wouldn't want to go without having somebody with me who's done it before. Put it that way. Because I just feel like it would be a total confusion. It's not that bad.
Man, I look at like the drone shot of like all the people there. Like, hell no.
It's not as bad as you think, but it's also worse than you think. Like, I don't if that makes sense. So this year we're doing a lot of media. Like, we were there from like 9 to 6, and didn't participate in a lot of nightlife. Well, we got to see everything during the day. It's such a big area, you don't really feel cramped until the traffic shows up, and everyone shows up at one time.
Yeah. Well, I always kind of get nervous. You see those people standing on those rocks on those mountainsides at night, and these trucks are just like fucking sending it over those boulders bouncing around. And here's like hordes of people on either side of them. And I'm just like, damn, somebody like breaks something that go flying. There'd be some shrapnel going in some people's faces.
Well, it reminds me of, if you ever see those like overseas rally races where the crowd is just lining the road and then the rally car crashes and wipes out like 60 people.
Yeah.
Like that's what I expect at Chocolate Thunder.
Yeah.
In my 3 years or 4 years ago, and I can't say that's ever happened. Like people get stupid and stuff, but for the most part, everyone kind of stays out of the way.
Okay. Yeah, I saw some videos where they were showing like all the trash and people left out there, and that's kind of shitty, but you know what do you expect? You get people out there getting drunker than hell. Even if they don't intentionally do it, they probably get his hand blown off at Chocolate Thunder. He caught a mortar. What the fuck? Oh, excuse me. Sorry, I keep forgetting.
Language.
Language. Chocolate Thunder is that's during KOA. Guys, hand blown off by a mortar firework. Jesus, what? Why the hell would you try to catch that?
No, he was launching them.
Oh, well, he says here he
Exploded.
caught one. That's what Scott was typing. He said he caught a mortar firework. I don't know what a mortar firework is. I'm assuming that means
It's one of the ones that it's in a tube and it shoots up like an actual mortar round from like artillery.
Oh, okay. Sounds like it'd be pretty powerful, pretty painful.
Yeah, he doesn't have much hand left after that one, if any.
Be like a shop teacher.
Worse. It'd be like I can't even.
What was that basketball player that got, or a football player? No, it was a football player. He played for the Giants.
Football player.
Just had his head blown off.
Jason Pierre-Paul.
Yeah, they were making all those memes about him on the internet and shit.
Hey, it worked out in his favor. He got to turn that hand into a club and bash people with it.
That's true. What happened at Bricks like 2 years ago? That's a good question. I don't know about that one.
Bro, what are you doing?
Uh-oh. Getting smuggled.
Yeah,
So, yeah. Scott, you coming up to, you going to Supercell East, Supercell West, buddy? We were all talking about that earlier. I know you're in Texas, so you're kind of like, I guess, centralized. Ooh. Oh, did they ever get, speaking of Tom Spang's world, I was like, speaking of Illinois, did they ever get the 4th of July event going for you guys back up there again? The Jeep Bronco Bash or whatever it was, Evan? Courtney?
Hey, hold on. We got teenagers talking to us.
Mackenzie's back.
Oh.
What was your question?
So did they ever get everything worked out with that Jeep Jam Bronco Bash 4th of July thing? Hey, Mackenzie.
Hey, Jody.
Because I know that they didn't have it last year.
Oh, the one on.
For Automotive Solutions, the one they hosted. Yeah, they didn't have it last year. I think it might be a done thing.
Okay.
It might not be coming back to town.
Part of the fall of Screw City Jeep.
Too much drama.
So apparently Jeep gangs are like motorcycle gangs. So like if
At
you're
least around here.
at least in Northern Illinois, because we don't have anything better to do.
Yeah.
So if you're in one Jeep crew, you cannot associate with people in another Jeep crew.
They're rivals.
So there's Jeep Outlaws, and there's
Oh.
Screw City Jeeps, and there's what's the other one? Rock River Jeepers, and they're all not fans of each other apparently.
And they're mostly not fans of Bronco
And
people.
apparently,
Yeah. Bang said there are not enough ducks, probably.
Right.
All right, Scott, man. Thanks for jumping on here, buddy. Hope you get your truck back soon, man. Good luck to you.
Have a good night, Scott.
Good night.
We'll see you, Scott.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing about the Bronco community. We're not quite big enough yet to have multiple groups in the same city, I guess.
Well, we do out here, and it didn't get super territorial like some people were trying to do that early on in the early 6G community, but people kind of laughed at it and said, dude, I'm gonna go wheel with whoever I want. Like, you can't we're not a gang, we're not like, you didn't initiate us, we're gonna go do whatever we want when we want.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I remember seeing. Remember that? I can't remember where the club was, but it was a lady who was like one of the founders or something, and I guess they had a riff inside the group, and they burned her damn truck or Bronco.
What?
You
Oh,
don't
that was
remember-
over in Florida, wasn't that Eagle Claw or something like that?
Yeah, it was somewhere on the East Coast, I believe. But it was she. Apparently, there was a riff or a disagreement or something within that club, and a couple of members of that club like torched her Bronco. They got arrested, and rightfully so. And I think some people like went in and did a fundraiser for her, or one of the manufacturers helped her out or something. She got a new Bronco. But yeah, it's like one of those cases you're like, what the hell are you thinking?
Oh, that's wild.
But yeah, it was like something stupid, It's just
Wasn't
like,
it a guy that wanted to date her and she said no?
I can't remember. Like I said, it was something really dumb. I remember that much. It's been like a year or two ago, I think. I'm just like, come on, people.
But Spen, you're right. It's when the people actually just go wheeling that none of the drama exists.
Exactly.
Drama only pops up when you spend all your time hanging out in a mall parking lot.
Yeah. Not much time for drama when you're trying to worry about the drama that the truck causes, right?
Yeah.
Just spend some money on your truck. You'll get enough drama when all the shit starts breaking on it.
Right. Enough conflict with your wallet.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, I think I'm about affirmed out.
Oh God, I think that's brought up during every podcast.
But thank you for your service.
Yeah. I'm over the affirmative action that I've taken in the past.
They haven't given you any frequent flyer miles?
I don't know. If they had a damn rewards thing, you had some damn portals on my shit by now.
Right.
Yeah, I won't be doing that again. That's my New Year's resolution. No more firm. At first it was fun because you get shit zero interest, and then they kind of catch on to the people that buy too much shit, and they quit offering that.
I know a couple Broncos that are sponsored by a firm, so or built by a firm rather.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a ton of Toyotas and Jeeps too. Hey, Walter, buddy. Yeah, we got to see Walter there. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, we hung out with Walter a lot. Got to see Classico and do all that stuff, and actually see a SEMA build wheel.
Exactly. That's what I did think about that the other night. I was like, we got to see two SEMA vehicles, Derek and Walters.
Mm-hmm. And Turn's Bronco too, and Turn Off Road, I think was at SEMA last year. So that's 3.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, I wasn't going to count the vendors, but yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I did talk to him. I like that bumper. So the blue one had their new bumper on it.
Mm-hmm.
I was about to say, Walter, is it like any of us are on a diet? The diet therapy, that's the show we have after this one ends. We don't publicize that one. But that's funny. But I can't remember the guy's name. He's in all the videos for them. I'm sure you know him, Don.
Cole?
Is that his name? The main guy?
Mr. Turn Off Road? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He's very, very nice. And so was the lady that was with him too. They were always very nice, very friendly, every interaction I had with them. But yeah, I was looking at the bumpers on the new bumper they put out that has the swing arm. It's it's got the Heim joints that are connected to where the spare tire would normally mount. And they just put out a new video on it. Install, if you all are interested in something like that, definitely check it out. But it allows you to open the tailgate by the door like you normally would, and the spare tire support comes out along with it, because those Heim joints, if it's closed, they're flush, but whenever you open it, they open up and allows it to sync perfectly. Takes all the stress and stuff off of the actual tailgate if you're hitting rocks and shit with it. So it looked pretty nice. Walter, they're out there sporting their beautiful rig. That was a very, very nice rig at the armadillo top, and I love those diodynamic windshield lights, those SS5 ones. That's the one I'm gonna look at. I was talking to him about those. But yeah, beautiful rig, man. You got lots of good pictures of you guys too. When you all
I appreciate it. Makes my job easier, and it's nice to get some footage of myself. I don't usually get it, so
yeah. No, I get it too. That's why I try to get some of everybody, because I'm just like, I know everybody. A lot of people are trying to get focusing on themselves a lot, but I like to get a lot of everybody, because that way you can share it. And if I see people posting other stuff, I'll try to share it too. If it's something that I think is really cool. Switching to the taking away chiropractic. Is that the same one that we were talking about, Walter?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there's not many people that make them. I know Expedition 1 is the one that APG uses, but it's like, I think $3,000 or $4,000. And yeah, okay, good. And then, but the one at Turn Off Road, I looked on their website and priced. I think it's only like $1,300, which is a pretty good deal.
Yeah, that and the actual tire reinforcement carrier too, because there's two options with the swing gate and the.
And I was asking him, Mr. Turn Off Road, I was like, is there one that's stronger? Because you see them, they picked up the whole ass end of the Bronco with the forklift in that one video they did, and he said that either way you're going to be covered. Yeah. So I mean, that's just what preference you have. Because I thought about that too. I was like, well, the tailgate reinforcement kit's a little cheaper, but they both seem to be pretty damn stout. I don't think you have to worry about. Who was it on the Rubicon that bent theirs?
Was it Evan?
No, it wasn't Evan. It was one of the.
But it loosened.
I thought, was it Brad or the guy that had the 4-door Cactus that was mostly stock?
Jeff bent his tailgate.
Okay, Jeff, is that who that
That's
is?
right. Yeah, it had a little crease in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember, because I remember he talking about it.
By that.
Don't tell him I said this, but I think he looks like Zach Galifianakis from The Hangover, so I kept thinking of whenever I saw him.
I'll text him right now and tell him you said that.
And I mean that in the most fondest way possible. Yeah. Yeah, Walter, that'd be pretty cool, man. That'd look good on your truck.
Yeah, so mine, because the turn tailgate system, it's adjustable both up and so you can move it up based on your tire size, and then you can extend the actual mounting position of the wheel surface out as far from the tailgate as you want it. So there's a slide mechanism. Well, I had literally just finished installing that thing the day before we had to leave to start heading out to the Rubicon. So I'm like, everything's tight. Loaded all the way down there. We drove all the way across the country, and then day 1.75 is when the adjustable part of the tailgate or the tire holder started coming loose. Yeah. So had to drop that down on that last little stretch and tighten those bolts down.
Oh, I know. I almost broke your wheel lock, so
that was.
Thank you for your help.
Did you put some Loctite on it or anything? You think that would have helped it, or is it just need to be retorqued after so long?
I think it was. I mean, so everything else that I put on, the rock sliders, the skid plates, I put all that stuff on. I had time to go around and actually drive it and put some miles on it, and then go back through and retorque everything and check everything. Yeah, that's the one thing, because once the tire's on there, you can't get to those bolts. So I rechecked all the actual bolts that go through the tire holder into the tailgate. All those were still tight. It was just those. And the hard part is they're on the in, so it's like a triangle shape. The outer sleeve slides over, and then the bolts tighten in from the. So I might not have just had it completely tight from the get-go, but.
Yeah. They gave away a new hardtop there. One of my Arizona peeps won it. And the funny fact is, she just bought one a month ago from them. So she's got 2 brand new hardtops from Turn Off Road. She posted it for sale in Facebook Marketplace. If anybody's in the Phoenix area and wants to buy one, she has a pretty good deal on it. DM me and I'll send you the post. But yeah, I mean they come on pretty strong, because I never heard of them before, And when I was talking to the guy, I'm very nerdy, but I was just like, well, damn, I bought all my shit before I even know you guys existed. I said, but if you'll just wait long enough, I'm sure I'll buy something from you.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't want to say anything, but we got a lot of cool, or they got a lot of cool stuff coming. I keep saying we because I've been working behind the scenes with them. If you couldn't tell already.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. We'll be anxious to be waiting to see what they have come out. They've come out with a lot of cool shit. I mean, like, you have AP or AVD been promoting their hardtop for years, and we've talked about that here on the show before. When you saw what happened there, no need to explain that. And then this other company pretty much comes out of nowhere, at least from people outside of the West Coast. Out of nowhere, here's Turn Off Road, and within months of them, people even seeing them, they already got a hard top in production. People are buying it. People are loving it. I mean, it's just like it's like it makes you kind of wonder. It's like, big kudos to them for pulling that off so smoothly when another company couldn't do it. Basically,
yeah,
a more established, more tenured company couldn't do it. And I'd have to guess a company with probably more resources, given the fact that they are in the business of making fiberglass stuff for years. So, I mean, they've impressed me with their stuff. I mean, I'm not kissing their ass. I have no reason to kiss their ass. I'm just telling you the way I feel. I like my Anderson Composites top, but if I wanted something quieter, I would probably go with them. I told him when we were sitting there bullshitting because he was asking me about my top, and I was like, I'm fixing to do the 2-year hard top review video, and I said, well, my take is this: if you want something that's slightly better than stock but still has all the functionality as far as removable panels, Anderson Composites probably your best choice. If you want something that's similar to stock but more quieter, probably a little bit higher quality than Anderson's, based on what I've seen, Turn Off Road's probably your go-to. And if you want the ultimate functionality of, just being able to really be creative and I'm guessing probably the quietest one of all three, then you go with like what Walter has, and that's the Armadillo top. Based on the feedback I've gotten from people who've owned all three of them are good tops. It's just whatever your priorities are. I feel sorry for the people that lost their money with the other company, but hopefully some of those people get their money back. Oh my God. All right, time to end the show, guys.
Brad, your date into the earth.
He's back.
Moo.
Yeah, Brad had some fun at UBB. He was getting out there and wheeling and doing some stuff.
Imagine.
Yeah. We got to meet the missus. He wasn't just making her up. Awesome. Brad, you missed a conversation earlier, so we all decided that next year we're going to get Evan and Courtney to come out early since they got to drive all the way from Chicago, and then we're just going to stay out there the whole week, prior to the event. So we did also make the rule that you and Evan are not allowed to stay in the same house, so the rest of us don't have to hear the mooing and shit and lose sleep.
And chewing. Chew.
Yeah. So we got to make sure we keep you guys separated. Oh, they're already up, Walter. Damn, nice.
Really?
Is it around the same time every year, though? I know that it's usually around the same. Rough. Okay. So, all right, Evan. So go ahead and get your PTO calendar. Get your little planner. I don't know if they even still make those.
They do. They do. Even I know that.
Yeah. Quads in the mud. SPS. Oh, it's the week after. All right. Well, maybe it'll be a little bit less. Hopefully, the bad thing for you guys is the travel getting to here, because you all probably got to go through some snowy areas just to get there.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. If we're driving out in February, we got to be careful with winter storms.
It might be worth looking into, if you got the time, is to come down below Colorado and then like maybe through New Mexico, Arizona, and cut back up like part of the way I go. There was some snow.
A snowstorm from out west a couple times.
Yeah.
Winter
I
Storm
bet
Oliver.
now. Oh, go ahead.
No,
No, I was just going to say, I bet, with Brad and Derek and Monica and them, I wonder if they had any snow up in Idaho coming down.
Brad's being
There was
sassy.
there was some snow in northern Arizona right before you get across the border on one of the mountains, but it wasn't nothing. The roads were clean. The weather was perfect this year, guys. Wednesday night when I rolled in, it was blowing like hell, and the sand, you could just see waves of sand going across the road. But every other day, the wind was relatively calm. The sun was beautiful. I mean, it was beautiful. Not any clouds in the sky. It was warm enough to where you weren't like sweating your ass off, but it was warm enough to where you didn't have to wear a jacket. You could wear shorts and a t-shirt for most part of the day.
Yeah, that wind was brutal. On the way back, like I was getting probably 12.5 miles a gallon. Some of the Vegas Broncos were getting like 8 and 9 because the wind was blowing crosswind.
Yeah, we got some coming out of Utah into Arizona too. From Utah border all the way down to below Flagstaff, you were doing this shit all the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we need to do something about that. I hate the wind.
I was off the rim of the Grand Canyon on Wednesday.
Yeah. I hate that I couldn't join you guys. Maybe next year.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Blizzard.
It shows it's a hurricane.
Yeah. Well, they call it hurricane for a reason. They're
Okay, so what's crazy is, right, while y'all were driving back from there, we watched this documentary yesterday about this crazy mom influencer that lived in that one of the $1 million subdivisions right across the highway from Sand Hollow.
Yeah, they have
you're watching
great land.
You're watching Housewives of Sand Hollow. We're out there wheeling.
Oh,
nice to know. Nice to know.
She abused her kids for YouTube views.
Oh my God.
Like we all abuse our Broncos for YouTube views.
Well, that's different. Nobody calls Bronco Protective Services.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start a business like that.
Narking us out to the dealers about our warranty that should not be honored.
Yeah. I wonder, because I know, if the event gets really crowded and the trails are selling out next year, I wonder if Mariah and is it Jesse, the guy's name?
Mm-hmm.
The people that run it. I wonder if they would just be okay with certain groups doing their own trails. I don't know if it's a liability issue with that or.
Well, again, right? Like we had last year, there was 5 or 6 groups that went out, and it was 25, 30 Broncos. It was a problem last year.
Yeah,
and they made the adjustment this year, and it was a lot better. I think also because we're on the BLM side, so we didn't have to all go through that tunnel. So you're not having a bottleneck there.
Yeah.
And they made the adjustment. It turned out really well this year, and I'm assuming they'd make adjustments going forward to accommodate everyone.
Yeah, and I like the fact that they staggered the start times too. I'm gonna be honest with you. My first 2 days, I didn't start till after 9 o'clock, and I wasn't complaining. I like to sleep a little extra. Yeah. So they have 8 o'clock, Evan. They have 8 o'clock run, and they have the same run an hour to hour and a half later, depending on what it is and what day it is. And you got plenty of time. Even if you're in the second run, you're still depending on the trail, I'm assuming, of course. But I know the ones that we ran, we were never still. I mean, if we were out past 3 o'clock, it's just because we were out there fooling around. Well,
most of our trails finished 1 at the latest.
Yeah. Now that trail, that West Rim that day, I know you guys cut out early, you and Walter and the turn people, because I know they had to get ready for the shoot vent. Because we had so many people getting hung up on that one area out there where the squeeze is.
Mm-hmm.
That almost caused us to be late getting back over to the shoot. But yeah, that was fun though. That area was kind of sketchy too. At first, I thought West Rim was going to be an easy peasy trail. I mean, because there was those areas that we went through with you guys that weren't too bad. But right about the area where you all cut out to go back, they got pretty sketchy right after that.
So what was the sketchiest thing you did?
So in that area that Jody's talking about, me, Blanco, and Pew Pew were there back in 2023. and going down into the squeeze that we took I think it was a side-by-side line, and my rear tire was probably about 6 feet up in the air. Like Derek could almost stand under my Bronco.
Wow.
Yeah, all the side-by-sides were out there filming me and everything. So there's videos of it out there somewhere.
Well, that's why you see people taking all these videos and pictures, and then you get home like, oh yeah, we'll probably see. And I was like, yeah, I don't see any people's photos. Where the hell are they doing with them?
They were holding on to it just in case it went all the way over.
I guess so. Like
Well, we had an OBS that was going up the wall over on Wayne's World, and it went up, and its bumper was dragging, so it was lifting that front tire like 4 feet off the ground. And when they went to winch it, it has open tow hooks on it. So like you're playing with like an inch or two of surface area, and it wasn't too sketchy, but it was everyone was a little concerned that if that winch slipped, that you'd have an issue.
Yeah, did y'all go over that one area where you go down like next to the edge, and then there's like multiple lines back up, and the first one's fairly easy, the second one's a little challenging, and the third one's probably more challenging because you have to do like a hairpin, and then climb up a bunch of boulders.
I don't know.
It was past that point a little bit, and there was another area that we went through that you had to make like a hairpin because you were going and you had to basically like cut completely back this way, and it was like this shit, as far as the rocks.
Hi, Cynthia.
Yeah, is it Cynthia or Cindy? Just want to make sure I say it right.
It's Cynthia.
Okay. I just want to say it right. That's my pet peeve of mine. Hey, Cynthia. We were talking about how beautiful your rig was earlier.
Yeah, she took that up the chute too.
Yeah. I didn't think the chute was too bad.
No, it was definitely like people have done it in years past. We're used to doing it a certain way. So like there's like Jason had to redo it. Upsitting Rob had to redo it. Like I had to redo it twice. Just all that sand was just a problem.
Yeah. So Evan, I meant to tell you, I don't think I told you about this. So the Turn Off Road sponsored that event too, that challenge too. And they had 3 categories. Slowest going up, fastest going up, which we already talked to you about that. Our friend Damien down here in Arizona that won that. And then they had a 3rd category, I think was new this year, if I'm not correct. Am I correct on that? You go up it blindfolded with only the spotter next to you.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could do it with the radio or you could do it with your passenger. So.
Yeah. And the guy so it's funny, the guy that won it, he was driving his girlfriend's Bronco. He bought my old Mobbit tube doors from me down here like 2 days before they drove up. But I mean, to be honest with you, and I don't know, Don, did you go up it early whenever the sun was like glaring down straight at you?
That was my second time going up before everybody got there. Yeah.
Yeah. Cause I went up before the challenge started and I couldn't see out the windshield. I had to look down at the screen and just kind of listen out the window. Oh yeah. Cynthia. That's right. That guy, he was in our group. He was in our group with all of us earlier that day when y'all were with us. Super nice guy. I didn't catch his name.
Yeah, he went up smoking a cigarette, and then he went up backwards smoking a cigarette.
Everybody got so cracked up at that. Yeah, he wasn't blindfolded, but he drove up, and he was cool. He's a real younger guy, but he was like super, super nice. And he got up here near the top, and he stuck his arm out with his cigarette and just flicked his ashes out the window, just like casually, like as he was coming up for the last part of it. And then he came back down, and it took a while because it's tight in there. I mean, it's really, really tight. And finally got turned around. They had to have multiple people help him get turned around because, like I said, it's extremely tight. And he come up it backwards without any problem whatsoever. Yeah, sticky Mickeys, Walter. Oh, was he blindfolded when he went up backwards, or was that somebody different?
No, he wasn't blindfolded. I don't think he was.
Somebody else may have done it because she was saying somebody went up blindfolded and backwards. That may have been after I left, or maybe some other day. But yeah, that's pretty gnarly.
So we'll just have to take yours.
Yeah,
it'll go viral for sure. That'll be your biggest Instagram hit right there, Evan.
Yeah,
she's got Mickey's.
I do.
Well, the sad part is that her Bronco would probably get more views even though it's not built like yours is, because it looks so much better with that wrap on it.
She is very capable.
She's very capable. I'm not saying she's not. Don't get your panties in the wall. I'm just saying.
I've yet to see it, but
you don't have the triangulated 4-link. You don't have 37s, or you have 37s on. You know,
Evan tires more than mine.
I have 35s.
Okay. Yours has front lockers though, didn't it?
Yeah,
Courtney?
got front and rear lockers.
You make it of it. No
perfect
problem.
for the Starbucks curbs.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can make it. Yours. Y'all should just like drive both of them out here.
They'll both be at the Sturgis Bronco Rally.
Oh, there you go. When is that?
So this may or may not be public information, but I know that a group that we wheeled at the Rubicon is looking to go to that this year.
Oh,
yeah. That's why we're going.
Yeah, we had Ed on here about a month or two ago, and he talked about it pretty openly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've been so buried in media. I miss everything now. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the trick, is like these big Bronco events, like we ideally would need to, I mean, it'd be best for us to have both Broncos there, but getting them both there is a logistical nightmare.
They just get you a slightly used Super Duty with a large flatbed, set to go. You can do like the Peck brothers and just find one out in the field somewhere and buy it.
Or I could just sell pictures of her feet and buy a new one.
All right, we may have to cut away from violence due to violence here.
Yeah, I know Mike Norton from Colorado. He has the tan bank robber classic Bronco out there. He trailered his two Broncos down here for UBB.
Well, I know Damien, the guy that we talked about earlier in the Wild Track that went, full stand up to shoot. He had his on a trailer behind an RV.
And Evan, if you get a Super Duty, you can put a train horn on it.
There you go. There you go. Actually, I know a guy that just sold one down here. I thought about it. Should have had you come down and get it.
I have access to plenty.
He had a Super Duty and he had a train horn, so you were already set. You didn't have to do anything.
Yeah, I had to put a boiler in the bed of the truck and put a whistle, not a horn.
Oh.
Gotta be a steam whistle.
Yeah. Brad's gonna follow you around everywhere.
Like a lost puppy dog. So, Brad, does your old lady have a Bronco? A lot of couples of Broncos, that's like the hip thing. I'm gonna have to like change my Tinder profile to only include people with Broncos. See if I can set that filter. Apparently, Don, I don't know if you're married, Don, but that's the key to happiness, I guess.
I'm not even in a relationship. I'm single. I'm too busy right now to focus on anything else.
Maverick, that's pretty close. We'll give her a break. At least it's a Ford.
I don't mind if she doesn't have a Bronco because I want a different experience. Like I would want a Bronco and a Jeep. Like as sacrilegious as that is to say, I want to go crawl some stuff.
But what if she always wants to drive your Bronco because it's so cool?
There's only one woman who's ever driven my Bronco, and it was last year in Moab. So, actually, I've only had, other than me, there's been 2 or 3 other drivers in the 3 years that I've owned it. So,
well, that's how we ended up with 2 because we both wanted a Bronco. He got his, and then I drove it all the time and made him drive the minivan.
We were fighting about it all the time.
And somehow you ended up hiking the Rubicon. So explain that one to me.
Yeah, what the hell?
Really on it tonight, isn't he?
Yeah. You wouldn't want to hike UBB because you'd be walking in deep sand a big portion of the time.
Good to know, Jody.
Yeah.
Not to go to UBB.
I got winded just walking from the chute. I was like, Jesus Christ, it's like walking like Frankenstein having to pick up your whole fucking leg.
Yeah, I haven't seen y'all in like 4 months. I got to give you a little flack.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, you talk to me like you're across the country or something.
Only for a little bit. I'll be over there. I'll be in Texas in a couple weeks. So.
Over where?
Southern Texas. So South Texas.
Pretty big damn state.
Yeah. I'll be on the southeast side picking up some parts from a Bronco owner. You guys
Texas
will stay
is
here.
still a 14-hour drive from here.
Yeah.
Oh, trust me.
I don't know how
mean,
those people from Texas do it, dude. Like, they got to drive everywhere. Everything's a 14, 15, 20-hour drive. I don't understand it.
I don't mind.
I lived in
I'll
Dallas.
drive
That was
30
before I
hours
was doing
before I
shit.
fly for 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know how far I have to drive from my nearest off-road trail? It's like 20 minutes.
Yeah, same here.
Wait a minute.
Let me push my sunglasses up.
Yeah, I lived in Dallas before I was into off-roading, thank God. But yeah, if I've traveled anywhere, it was by plane. So, but I think Texas has some good off-road trails in it down near Austin, don't they?
They got like 3 off-road parks. They got Bridgeport, Hidden Falls.
Hidden Falls we went to.
That's the one near Austin. That's one that Brockbuster used to go to, right?
Is that Contempsey?
There's one that's like in the hill country there, not far from the Rough Rodeo.
I think that's Contempsey Hills over there, something like that.
That's the one I
Hidden
think he went
Falls
to.
is right across the street from the off-rodeo.
Oh, okay. I knew there was one in those areas at least.
Contempsey Rocks is right there too. That's the one where Brockbuster went all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, because they got everything's private over there. They don't have any open like real trails.
Yeah.
And Maris is down there too.
I wanted to do that this year, but I don't think I'm gonna get the chance.
Who was it on here telling us about that? Was it Scott?
Scott.
Yeah. I think, is it up near the Panhandle though?
I thought it was like northwest, but
yeah, like Panhandle or like almost next to
somewhere in there. Yeah,
You're speaking.
I think it's near one of the borders.
Yeah. And that from like Austin, at least a good day's drive, probably. Not more.
What?
From the Panhandle to Austin, that's probably at least a day or two drive.
What is the Panhandle?
The square part of Texas.
Yeah, Amarillo. That area up there. The short
part
spot
closest
on
to you guys.
I-40 that goes through Texas. Yeah. Yeah, Rob said in Maris is near Amarillo. You ever heard the George Strait song, Amarillo by Morning? Come on, man.
Yeah, but see, I Panhandle, I think of Florida.
Well, think about
there's so many panhandles. We got them all in the U.S.
Well, think about it. George Strait went from San Antonio to Amarillo by morning, so that tells you how long it takes to drive.
All I know is from Austin to Big Bend National Park is like 12 hours.
Come on,
Yeah.
Don, you know that song. You know that song, Don.
Oh, I do. You know I do. Yeah, I know.
My head all night.
Everything that I got is just what I got on.
My first drive across Texas, I went across the 10, and it was the longest, most boring drive of my life.
Oh, I bet.
Because once you hit Arizona and all the way to like mid Texas, it's the same terrain. It's all flat.
Scott's back. He heard us talking about him.
The 9 hours is the difference between a Raptor and a 2.3 liter.
Yeah, I was about to say 9 hours for a Raptor with a maniac driver doing 90, 95. Rest of us probably about 10 or 12.
And a guy with a 14-gallon fuel tank.
Yeah, we got to stop at 2 hours.
With a flaming transmission. Looking like a comet going down the highway. We love you, Scott. We're going to keep you. We're going to stay on here just so you'll stay up all night. You know that, right?
Hey, it's only 7:40 over here. I can go all night. I got 4 more hours.
It's not even near my bedtime.
Yeah,
it's almost 10 o'clock here.
Oh, y'all are like in sync. I don't know if we have any East Coast people that watch this show. They're all way in bed by now, unless they work night shift. Awesome. Well, we had a good show tonight, guys. This was pretty fun. We're an hour and a half in, and none of us have yawned yet.
Jody, I caught you.
No, you didn't. That was your mind playing tricks on you.
Because it needs a Celsius.
You take your hand from your chin too.
Which chin? Yeah. You got up to 7 watching. I know that's kind of like groundbreaking, ain't it? You know, that's the thing. We do this shit for fun. We're not making money off this, just so anybody knows. this is just for fun. We like doing it. The show came about is a way for like a bunch of us to try to promote our YouTube channels, but we just get on here and bullshit mostly all day and all night. And if people like it, we let, great. If not, we'll still have fun, right, Evan?
Damn right.
Yeah. Where's Milton at? Where's Bareback Broncos? I know he's up right now.
Yeah,
I think he's one East Coast guy.
He's probably working in the viewers section.
Yeah, I'm not sure. He didn't respond back to us, so we do this every 2 weeks because we all got other shit to do, just like everybody else does. But I know Derek and Monica, they're worn out, and bless Derek's heart. I know he was up like for a long time working on his, so he's probably in a coma still. But I didn't hear back from Milton, so I don't know. He may have been working or something, or may have had a family function he had to go to. Well, I'm sure we'll hear from him before next time.
He's an hour later, even past what we are. He's on Eastern.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's our East Coast guy.
he's our one East Coast correspondent.
And he was trying to come out here for KOH and UBB, but he couldn't make it.
Yeah, we've talked to him before about trying to get out here. I've been trying to leverage him and them to get out here more. So
I know those Central Kentucky Broncos were possibly talking about getting out here too for UBB, but obviously that didn't happen either.
Yeah, well, that's a pretty good hike for them. That's probably at least a 2-day drive, if not 3.
Yeah,
from here to Tennessee for me, it's a 32-hour drive.
Yeah.
We promise we'll be at UBB 2026.
And if you're not, I get the sticker wrap Bronco.
Fine.
You didn't say no, so it's on camera now. It's a deal.
Fine.
Scott.
And I'll hike with Nicole. Nicole and I will be Frankenstein stomping through the sand together.
I wonder if snowshoes would work.
Probably.
Strap some tennis rackets to your feet like they did in the cartoons back in the day.
Yeah.
I don't think it would have worked this year, but when the sand's more packed, I think it works.
Or just use Max Tracks, some traction boards.
Oh, yeah. Do like that guy in Michigan did, have those tracks things, those tank track things on each wheel.
No, just zip tie some traction boards.
Yeah.
So heavy.
I don't know if that guy, I saw him on the dunes, but I don't think I ever seen him go too fast whenever I was up there in Silver Lake. He had those tracks things. He did tell me one time, it was a funny story, because I was asking him, like, does the cops ever give you shit? And he said, no, they're street legal. He said, but he goes, I did get a ticket. I think he said it was either Georgia or Florida. They gave him a ticket for low air pressure. I shit you not. He told me that, and he was dead serious. He said they gave him a ticket for low air pressure, and I was like, there is no air pressure. And he's like, exactly. He said they gave me a ticket for that, and he was like adamant, like, yeah, they really did give me a ticket for that.
You gotta have a certain amount of air pressure in your tires.
I guess wherever he was at, that was probably like a local law or something, but I'm sure that's one of those laws that's probably there in some states, but nobody knows to enforce it.
Right.
Yeah.
Brad said it's most rock.
Well, the trails for the most part are, but there's a lot of sandy dunes area too.
Yeah.
I mean, she'll only be walking the trail part.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, we went on the night run on Friday night, and it was mostly sand dunes that we went on.
Yeah.
So
I signed up for that, but I was too tired, and I regret not going now.
it was fun.
Yeah, that's what everybody said.
Like they had 5. So Evan, Courtney, they had like 5 checkpoints that you had to go around. Each checkpoint, they handed out a sticker, and it was fun. Like you got to go over the rocks, have to go drive on the dunes at night. It was fun.
Kind of like a scavenger hunt.
Night ride.
That is a bold-faced lie.
Last time I went night riding, I was on the trail till 2 in the morning in the middle of the woods.
That's why you don't go in the woods. You come out in the sand dunes.
Yeah.
It was at Windrock.
Okay, it was also
Terrifying.
they had to remove that trail from the badge of honor thing because of how bad it's gotten.
Okay, so
Hey,
Brad said
Brad's complaining about filming at night. I film at night all the time.
GoPro. Yeah, don't use your GoPro. That's almost
Yeah, you can't film at night for shit with a GoPro.
No, my drone does well though. That's all my night rides are like that.
Thanks,
Maybe
guys.
Brad doesn't have enough.
All these guys backing me up. No night riding.
No,
Maybe Brad just doesn't have enough lights. I think that's Brad's problem.
no, we can do night riding with somebody else doing the night driving.
I have a lot of lights on my Bronco.
There you go, the KCs. So tell you a funny story, Don. What was it, 2 years ago, Evan, Courtney? I was at Supercell in my mom's house because, my family still lives out there in East Tennessee. And it was like 12:30 at night. And I was laying in bed in my mom's guest room. And I get this, it was a phone call, wasn't it?
No, I
texted. You called me or texted? Yeah, you texted me. It was like, come save us or something like that. I remember what the exact wordage was, but it was something along those effects. And I was like, and I forgot they were even out there because they were out there the weekend before Supercell. But I drove down early to spend time with my family. And I was like, what the hell is she doing? And I was like, and then it dawned on me, I was like, oh, fuck, they're over at Windrock. They were out there. How late were y'all out till like, what, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning?
I think we rolled into our cabin at 2 a.m. But we were on a 2-mile trail for what, like 7 hours?
Yeah.
2 miles. 7. It was a nightmare.
So we knocked out Trail 51 in like 2 hours. And we're like, and they kicked us out right at the start. Well, what we thought was the start of Trail 16. We're like, oh, Christ, Scott. But so we were like, oh, Trail 16 is right here. Let's knock it out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one, we started the trail backwards.
Yeah.
And we quickly found out that Trail 16 is not the same caliber as Trail 51.
They had to winch pretty much through the whole dang thing.
Every rig, every obstacle for
2 miles.
2 miles.
7
That sounds like day one of the Rubicon.
Yeah.
It was worse because it was completely pitch black outside.
Yeah, there's no street lights out there. And that area, just so you know, guys, that area, it's right next to Brushy Mountain State Prison. That's where the guy that killed Martin Luther King was held at. But that's that area is notorious to be just like flooded with copperhead snakes.
Love that.
Well, Trail Hunter USA, that's where he was willing at when one of his German Shorthairs got bitten by a snake and passed away later that day. But yeah, that area is notorious because I grew up in East Tennessee and I always heard that area, that's one of the reasons why they put the prison there so people couldn't try to escape because it's just like overgrown. That's what they call it, Brushy Mountain and a state penitentiary. It's not even a penitentiary anymore, but it's full of copperhead snakes. So just be mindful of that next time you're up there. You start getting in and out of your rig.
Well, in my dumbass, in the morning, I'm like, oh, it's beautiful out, right? So I took my 2 front panels off and left them at the cabin. And next thing you know, like we're burning up. Like I took my Bronco Nation flannel and zip tied it to my crossbars just so we had a sunshade.
Mm-hmm.
But then at 2 o'clock in the morning with all the lights on, all these massive bugs are flying inside the Bronco.
I mean, moths the size of my hand. Huge.
Sounds like dinner.
Yeah, good protein.
That was the other part. Nobody brought any food.
Yeah. So Scott's talking about his other channel. Scott, this is a family channel. We don't talk about your OnlyFans on here. Lockers Before Lights from Brad.
Yeah, Brad, we have lockers and lights.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'll be back in a second. I'm charging my iPad now.
Oh, you're fine. It says Scott says must have been with some Jeeps, Toyotas and Jeeps. There wasn't no Toyotas on that trip, was there? I know there's some Jeeps on there.
2 Jeeps, a TJ, a JK,
a mini bike,
a 300-pound dude on a mini bike, and 2 Can-Ams, 2 X3s.
He almost straight zoomed off the edge of a cliff. He like, zip, 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 and we thought he was gone.
That is false, Brad. We are not rich. We are just irresponsible.
Yeah.
So Scott brings up a good point. He says, marking that down on my book of things to do. Evan, I think that would be like content gold. I'll fly out there and meet you guys at Windrock. We'll have Scott drive out there. We'll go out there and meet. We'll be his film crew that day. And we'll bring him on those trails that you went on. And
you just told us about all the copperheads, and now you want us to go there?
Yeah, you're not getting her back to Windrock.
Snakes are my biggest fear.
all right. Well, you can just hang out like in downtown Knoxville or something and drink some wine or something while we're up there.
Well,
Yeah, Courtney, just leave me your camera and I'll go out there with them. We'll make it epic.
Yeah. I'll put my wading boots with like quarter, half-inch thick rubber so the snakes can't bite through it.
Only if you take your fender flares off first.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta take the fender flares off.
Because removing them in the middle of the trail in the mud is a pain in the ass.
Not recommended.
Oh, Scott, speaking of, I got my first rite of passage with a Raptor, that one that I posted that was basically like on the verge of flipping over. I had to pop his front fenders back in for him, and I had to bend one of the tabs because it was already folded in half to get the pop back on.
How about that guy, Jody? I mean, he was like this guy had an oxygen tank, and what else did he have?
He had oxygen in his nose. I mean, he was a nice guy. I talked to him, and we checked on him after the fact to make sure he was okay. And he'd been on those trails before. Apparently, I don't know if he lives in that area, but he was the most seasoned one in that group as far as being at Sand Hollow, because he was kind of giving us the lay of the land when we were there. But yeah, so it was Barg Off Road, Mitch. He was in the front. I was behind Mitch, and then this guy was behind me. And Mitch and I both, because it's like a little bit of a turn, and then that hole is like right there in the middle of that turn. And Mitch and I, we both like really hugged it close with our rear passenger tire. And I don't know if the guy just wasn't paying attention and he was just following what we did, and him being that little bit extra wide, he slid off, and it was like, oh, we didn't even see it because we went around the bend and started coming back the other way and just happened to look over and saw that damn thing like doing this shit. If his bumper hadn't hit the ground, he would have flipped, because that was probably at least a 6 foot drop off. His bumper was
looked pretty steep.
The bumper was the only thing holding from flipping on over and rolling down that ravine. But the guys behind him, one of them had a winch, so they hooked the winch up to him. He didn't get out of the car. They had a dog in the back seat, and it was him and his wife, and there's a large dog. They winched him out. We kind of surveyed. He didn't get out of the car. We surveyed the damage. We crawled under and looked, make sure the axles and everything looked okay. He had some beefy parts on there. He had like the RPG tie rods that are about this big around. Everything looked normal. The steering was fine, everything. And he completed the rest of the trail. Now, that last part of John's trail, he didn't do that last sketchy part. He bypassed it, and he hung out a little bit. But after Mitch and I got up there, he took off. But after it was over, I stopped him because, I work in healthcare. We're used to trauma. It was like, you guys okay? I mean, you need to take a break or something? We just kind of just chill out for a little bit. And he's like, no, we're fine. Because I know that would scare the shit out of me. I mean, obviously that could happen to anybody. We all try to be extra careful, but, we've all had those times where we didn't pay attention for a split second, and we're lucky we didn't get in the same situation he's in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Been there.
Oh, Scott was saying, if I remember right, that dude had like $100,000 buggy. He sold it because he was bored with it, and then got his Raptor. Yeah, I don't know the guy's name. I didn't catch his name or anything. Like I said, he was nice and he was friendly. I can't say anything bad about him, but I'm sure he probably wasn't very thrilled about all of us taking videos and pictures of him while he was up there. I mean, we were first and foremost making sure that it was okay. And once we got the winch line strapped to him, that's when people started like taking pictures and shit. I mean, hell, they're going to do that. If it had been me, I'd have been like, yeah, just make sure you get me out of here alive, then take all the damn videos you want. But yeah, I was like, my God, that's the first day, first trail. Like, if this sets the tone for the weekend, this is going to be interesting.
Well, yeah, because last year we had a lot of rollovers, just people not paying attention and not listening to their spotters.
Yeah. Mitch was really cool. Barg Off Road, you ever will with him before, Don?
Oh, he's one of my best friends.
Yeah, he was really cool. I didn't realize who he was at first because I know he told me he hadn't posted stuff in a while. But he's got a cool two-door, Evan. I think it's is it Velocity Blue?
Yeah.
It's one of the earlier blue colors. Real nice guy, super nice guy. He chatted a lot that first day, and I saw him a couple times after that. Yeah, he's a real cool guy.
I'd wheel with him anywhere, but I'd be ready for him to break. He breaks a lot.
He seemed to be doing pretty good. I mean, he was the lead the whole trail. I think he just kind of, because we didn't technically have a dedicated trail lead, from what the gist I got from talking to him is he just kind of stepped up and took on that role. Because now you do want to have Evan out there, especially if you're new to the area. At least this is just my opinion. You probably want to make sure you have Onyx or Gaia or something with the trails on it. Because in our group, because Mitch and I don't think Mitch had been there before, had he?
He came out. I can't remember. I think this was his first time at UBB.
Yeah, I thought so too. Because he and I, and there was some other guy, and I never caught the other guy's name. We were all on Onyx, and there's a couple people that had trails off road.
Oh no! Sorry, Mark was there last.
Okay. But anyway, we were trying to figure. Yeah, Scott says Mitch was there last year, but he was sick most. I do remember him telling me that too. But we were trying to figure out how to get to the top of the entrance of the trail, and one guy kept arguing with us, and me and Mitch kind of took the lead and just and led it till we got to that point to where it cuts off of Slingback or whatever it's called. And then once we got there, the guy was like, "Oh yeah, this is right. My map was upside down or turned around or something." Yeah, which we did all right. Most of us had wheeled before. Mitch had wheeled a lot. I've wheeled fairly amount.
Yeah.
So I think there was very few people that heard. I don't think there was anybody there that had never wheeled before, but there were certainly people there that hadn't wheeled quite as much as we had. So we just kind of led the way. There was one guy in our group. He had a pretty cool. I think he said it was a '92 model, OBX Bronco, and he was a younger guy, and his dad. And I don't know if that was his dad and mom or if his dad and stepmom, but they had a 2-door Velocity Blue. And I think it was stock Sasquatch because I think it had the Goodyear tires on it. And it was so funny. He was spotting them. And he called his dad out bigger than shit because it was right there towards the end of John's Trail. And like you got to go up that steep part, Don, and you have to cut that hard left and kind of back up like an Austin Powers to line yourself up right because you go too far. Driver, you're falling off that cliff. Courtney, don't listen to me here. So he was spotting his dad because Mitch had walked up to spot the other guy going around that other dip back up to the top, and his dad just kept gassing it and bouncing and shit, and he's like, bro. He's like, why you gotta fucking send it? Talking to his dad like that. I got so tickled. This kid probably wasn't maybe in his mid to early 20s. But he was so cool. He was a good spotter too, because he spotted me in a couple of spots. He'd get out and help spot and stuff for us. So we had a pretty cool group that first day.
Yeah, I was really happy with the level of experience this year. Like last year, there's a lot of people wheeling for the first time, so it took longer. But it's really happy with everyone there this year.
Well, that and if your groups were bigger. Yeah. What's that? She will be filming. Okay, I was looking at Brad's comment.
Yep. He knows my position.
Yeah, Scott, I did get that too because I know some of the Arizona group, they've been going up there a lot. Rob, he's one of the guys I stay with. Him and his wife are two of the top people in the Arizona group. I think that they mentioned something about Mariah had reached out to them about possibly leading a group. And I wouldn't mind doing it if I'd been there before, but being new to the event, I didn't want to take on that responsibility. Never been on the trails. I might not even be willing to do it next year. It might be like year 2 or 3 before I would feel comfortable. Yeah, guys, follow me in all your $100,000 vehicles. But yeah, I mean, it was pretty fun. I definitely, and I think I posted this in a comment, in one of my first group of photos I posted was that I think this is probably the funnest Bronco event. Not just saying that the other events weren't good. It's just that because of the wheeling, don't worry, Courtney, I'm not going to bash Broncopalooza. Broncopalooza is the best event I've been to in all the world and ever will be.
Well, but the nice thing with UBB, right, is everything's so centrally located. Nothing's more than 20 minutes away.
Yeah. I mean, there was Walmart Supercenter was right there. There was a Maverick, and I don't know if y'all went to the Mavericks when you were out at Rubicon, didn't you?
Damn right. Yeah, Maverick breakfast burritos.
Oh man, they have a croissant type sandwich thing to where it's sausage, egg, and cheese enclosed inside of it. And that shit, it had just the right amount of olive oil and butter on it.
Shit.
Yeah, I fucking inhaled those damn things every morning. I just straight in.
Celsius, huh?
That and the Celsius. That was my morning ritual.
That sounds like a recipe for gut rot. Celsius and breakfast sandwiches.
That's
I didn't have
breakfast
the
of
shits all
champions
weekend.
right there.
So who knows?
That's the breakfast of people who went to UBB.
Ah,
Yeah.
See what you
Scott
must have done?
said- Scott says, I agree. I'd have to have everybody sign a waiver before they follow me. Well, Scott, if anybody's followed you on Instagram, they probably wouldn't be many people behind you, buddy.
false. Some people live for that shit.
Yeah. We'll put Damien back there, will you? He might match you on some of the wild shit. He says, if you had to eat a Maverick burrito before hitting the trail, it's bad juju. Okay. Well, that's good to know. Hey, that 3 days in a row. Me too, buddy. And I always thought Trail Militia in there too in the morning. They would be fueling up. I talked to Eli. He's the only one I really got a chance to talk to. I didn't get a chance to talk to the other guys. The guy that has the pizza place. If I'm not mistaken. Is he on the pizza place, I'm assuming, just based on his post?
Yeah.
He was real nice guy. I talked to him while we were in there. I didn't get a chance to talk to them because they were kind of off doing their own thing most of the part.
Yeah.
French toast Sammy. Okay, so next year when we all go, Brad and Scott, you all have to like coordinate the dinner agenda itineraries or the breakfast itinerary.
Have Maverick cater to the house.
Yeah, have Maverick cater to the house. They have Uber Eats there. I did use them.
Of course you did.
I can confirm that. I don't know if DoorDash works there, but I know Uber Eats does. Most of the chains there. There was some cool barbecue. Was it Lonnie's, the barbecue place there, Don?
Yeah. That's where we used to have the vendor show.
Yeah, I didn't eat there, but a lot of people were talking good about it. And I went to that River Rock when we come off of Torkerville, and it was a good place. They had like I ate like a pizza, but I can't remember what Blanco and them were eating. They own RJ and they all had stuff there too.
That little cafe right there.
It's as you come out of Torkerville, as you come into town, it's there on the right. They have like a back patio that's multi-level.
Yeah.
And
I ate there twice. So.
And they have like burgers and everything, sandwiches too. I just happened to get the pizza because I was just like, pizza's always just like a bet. Scott says he doesn't play anything; he just swing it. That's all right. Well, let's just do this. You could at least plan to go to Maverick first thing in the morning. So, something else.
He knows he'll need the fuel.
Yeah, no kidding. So, Don, this is something that's interesting. So, I was sick the week before. I had a cold. I was doing great. I get up there, and I don't know if it's because of all that sand blowing around, but every day I was there, I had to get back on the Dayquil NyQuil routine because my shit was just all jacked up. It was fine when I was taking the meds, but I had to take it because I couldn't sleep for shit the first night.
Do you have allergies?
I typically don't. I have had sinus issues as growing up, but I've never had like strong allergies.
Maybe there's something there that you're allergic to.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like here in Phoenix, they have what they call a valley of fever, where all the bacteria in the sand, and the wind's blowing a lot, it blows it up in the air, and people and their pets.
You're allergic to that.
Maybe.
I don't know. I live in it, so I mean, between KOH and Hammerlong and UBB, I'm full of sand.
You're immune.
Yeah.
Just a big old pussy. Yeah, that's true too, Scott. Especially the old part and the big part. I don't know about the last part.
Hey, I know you.
No, we need to get Scott. I want to get Scott.
Issues, so.
Yeah. I want to not only get Scott out and Will with him because I think he'd be fun as hell. I think we need to get him out afterwards and have like, a couple beers with him. Something. I don't know if he drinks or not, but let him really cut loose, You're not a me drunk, are you, Scott? Hope not.
We're all patiently waiting for the reply in the comments.
I don't think he drinks, but I think he does something else. So.
Okay, well, that's fine too. Oh man! So we just get Scott on trail with us. We just all sit there and listen to him. Him and Don.
Just make sure you have a spare tire here with Scott, because if somebody pops a tire, it's gonna be like a 6-hour trip.
Oh shit! Scott, do you not carry the spare on yours anymore?
No, they had somebody else pop a tire, and it turned into a long day. It was supposed to be a 2-hour trail, and they got back at like 6.
Shit. Nobody have a good jack or something, or what?
I don't know. That's a question for Scott.
Maybe it was Trail 16.
That was a pretty easy trail. They went up to Bronco Knoll, so I don't know what happened out there.
Huh. Well, I brought my hydraulic gator jack, and I brought my impact wrench with all the sockets. It shouldn't have taken more than a couple of minutes. Only meth. Oh, that reminds me, Don. I was going to ask you earlier when we were talking about Big Bear Bash. Is edibles legal in California? I'm assuming they are. Okay.
Everything is. So.
Yeah.
They are here.
What?
Isn't that here? Isn't Big Bear kind of by the Emerald Triangle?
It's close. It's where John, is it John Boy, or what's the name of that trail?
John Bull.
John Bull, yeah, the one that Trail Militia them used to do all the time.
Yeah, but that's up by the Emerald Triangle, right?
What's the Emerald Triangle?
The Humboldt County, one other county where 90% of all the marijuana in the United States is grown.
Dude, I'm like 8-10 hours below that. California's a big state.
Yeah.
So I'm 8 or 9 hours from San Francisco. That's closer up there.
Yeah, you're down there in the Palm Springs area, aren't you?
Yeah.
No, I'm saying the Big Bear Bronco Bash. Isn't that up there?
No, it's 45 minutes from Palm Springs.
Oh.
We got the beach, we got Big Bear, we got the desert, we got it all.
And $5.50 a gallon gasoline.
I filled up yesterday for $3.98.
Yeah, Scott's explaining the situation now in the comments if y'all hadn't seen it.
The words are too small.
It's late. Our eyes are starting to not work.
Right.
Yeah. Scott, I don't want to hear excuses. If you get a good jack, Evan and I are rolling on the rock crawler suspension. We got to go up high too.
So I'm hearing is Scott was having trouble getting it up, or they were having trouble getting it up this week.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, wow. Good one, Don.
Go, Scott.
Well, I think that's a good way to end the night, don't y'all?
Yeah.
So for those of you all watching at home, recap tonight. Scott can't get it up, and and we're all going to United by Bronco next year. Hope to see y'all there. I'm sure if they watch this show, they'll probably disassociate with us. Don, hey, we probably think we need to get off here, but that's what Nicole said. Brad, Scott, I don't know if Walter and Cynthia are still on here, but everybody that jumped on, Rob, all you guys, love you guys coming on and joining us. Don, thank you for being a part of the show. We love you, man. We all miss you from the Rubicon. I'm glad I got to see you this past weekend. Anytime you want to come to Southern Arizona and Will, you just hit me up. I ain't got kids. I'm single. Our schedule's pretty wide open, dude. We can hit a trail anytime you want to. Okay, buddy?
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on, guys.
All right. And Courtney and Ebony.
Arizona
yeah, you two up at the top there. Get your ass out here next year. We're all holding you to it. Everybody here tonight. So just know that.
Yeah,
it's a stickered Bronco.
All right.
I'm going to pass on the invitation until the fall. So,
yeah,
until it cools off.
All right, guys. All right. Bedtime.
All right, see
you guys. 2 weeks, y'all. Bye-bye.